Alright, hello everyone, my name is Zach, and welcome to another live stream for Assassin's Creed Rogue. Uh, Today is gonna be a very story-focused day. In fact, it may actually be... It's very possible that it may actually be a longer stream. Today, we are going to be getting 8 achievements, I believe? We're gonna be getting a lot done today. We're gonna go from how many achievements do I have? 28. Yeah, we are gonna be getting 8 achievements. The achievements that we're gonna be getting is complete sequence 6. Uh, no page on turn for viewing the final glitch memory. Templar then, Templar now. The secret achievement, which is for finishing the final present day mission. Achieve full synchronization. We're also gonna get Repairman, Cartographer, and Freedom Fighter. I do not think that I'll be getting anything else. There's only like one thing that I may get because I'm actually fairly close. That's denied, but no promise there. That being said, let's start by getting one of the achievements out of the way, and that is to liberate 300 POWs from the prison ship. There's actually one thing I do want to take care of first, and that is actually to restock on my ammo. And I'm also going to go to the tavern to restock on crew members. I will say that there's one thing that I have been increasingly worried about, and that actually relates to my internet. For anyone who is curious, I've been having issues where my internet randomly disconnects. Oftentimes I'm playing through sexy games, imagine that. And it's literally something that's out of my control, and oftentimes I find myself being unable to catch it. So in this particular stream, I'm actually going to pay close attention to OBS and my Twitch stream in front of me. If I notice my thing is actually says reconnecting on OBS, which is on my desktop below my TV, or if I see a network error message pop up on my laptop, then I know there's something wrong with my stream. And hopefully I'll be able to catch it before I make too much story progress. My biggest concern as of right now is losing connection to my Wi-Fi during an unskippable cutscene. For those curious, in this final sequence, in this final story segment, there are 3, not really unskippable, there are 3 non-replayable cutscenes, what I mean. If my internet craps out during one of these cutscenes, then I will not be able to replay them for YouTube. If that happens, then unfortunately my best bet is to link the video on YouTube into the pinned comment of my YouTube video when this is uploaded onto YouTube, because I will not be able to replay those cutscenes for YouTube purposes. So I really do apologize if you're watching this on YouTube. This is already done and my internet craps out during one of those cutscenes, but there's really nothing I can do. In some games, if you're in a cutscene, if you go into the X menu like this, it can actually pause the thing, and I'm not really sure if that works for cutscenes. I'm gonna try it, but I don't think it will work. So I'm just like stating that just right now, because if it does crap out during a cutscene, I may be unable to do anything about it. So I really do apologize. Now let's go ahead and try and get those POW ships taken care of now. We're going to be using the fast travel trick that we did to get the naval missions, but first things first, we're actually going to send our ship out to another mission. The first naval thing that we're pre-OW thing we're gonna be taking care of is actually near Glace Bay. Pretty sure it's Glace Bay, east of Glace Bay. First things first, we're actually going to send our crew out on another mission. Oh, we need to progress further, so that's all we can do in the naval campaign. That's nice.
Captain's helmet.
So it looks like it's not here because it would show up here. So next thing we're going to be going is Shamel, which I don't know where that is, so we're just going from location to location trying to find it. Does not look like it is here either. I guess what we can do is just sail out into the bay because it may be too narrow waters for anything to spawn. So let's go ahead and sail into the bay and we'll see if it spawns once we're out of this inlet. But I don't think it's here. I don't think it's here. Let's go ahead and go to Pearl Island. Where is this? This is northwest of Pearl Island. Does not look like it is here either. Okay, so let's go to east of Port Minier. And on this one, I know it's actually over here because we had this spawn before.
Loose sails. Let's catch the wind.
That? No, I don't think that's it. That may be it down there. Is that it? You'll know it's it when you see like 2 ships on side, and it does not look like it's here. This area is a little bit more sketchier because there are actually man wars that patrol this section. So all we're looking for is a POW ship. It's apparently the rarest naval event in the game, so let's see what we can do. I'm honestly hoping that we'll be able to get this achievement done, but yeah, I don't think it's here.
Sir, to the fore. It takes a strong constitution.
So just keep going just a little bit further because I think that the man of war or the POW ship can be sorry, I have the hiccups. I'm drinking 7-Up right now. I believe the man of war or the prisoner of war ship can actually sail pretty far up, but I don't think it's here. Let's go and check the map. It's not here. Okay, so the next place that we're going to be going to, and this is the last location where it could be, is south of Fogo. I have no idea where Fogo is, so we're going to find out together. There it is. We're actually going to farm the last 3 locations that we went over. We're actually going to go to a different location than Fort Minier. So let's actually go south. Just set a marker for there and see if it pops up. I feel like we're too far away for like all the ships to spawn.
Loose and trip too.
The problem that we're having is this is considered to be the rarest event, so it's no guarantee that we'll be able to get it. This is probably more uncommon than the naval convoys, so it'll probably be a while. I think that'll probably take like maybe 30-45 minutes for us to get this. We only need 2, thankfully, so. And it doesn't actually look like it's here. Let's check the map. And it's not here. Okay, so let's actually just fast travel to the Fort Bay Rouge. I keep on wanting to say Baton Rouge, which I believe is the location in Assassin's Creed 3. The problem I'm having is I always tend to dislike farming for rare events because it's not something I typically enjoy. You're essentially going up against luck, and I don't really like to do that. It's actually part of the reason why I dislike farming for legendaries in Borderlands games. Because I would honestly prefer to use a random legendary I get from looting than being forced to farm for legendaries that are better on higher difficulties, like say Mayhem 10 on Borderlands 3 or Ultimate Vault Hunter mode in Borderlands 2. But can't always get what you want. And yeah, this one like it's here, so it'll go a little bit further actually.
Bring up the ropes. Sir, to the fore.
Yeah, it's not here. Let's go ahead and go to Harbor Deep again.
Give me some speed.
I will say that recently I've been looking at gameplay of Assassin's Creed games I'm planning on covering in the future. And there are some games I'm actually kind of getting more and more excited of playing. Like one of the games I'm planning on covering in the future is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I think that probably Odyssey's like biggest strength is the environment. The game is just visually stunning. I just have a problem with how they handle the story. But I am actually really looking forward to playing that game again for YouTube. I already have all the achievements for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I will not be able to get like anything new. That's not here. Actually, we'll go a little bit further. I will not be able to get anything new, but I am looking forward to playing that regardless. I've also recently just kind of watched like a review video of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and that's a game that I'm definitely going to be covering in the future as well. And honestly, there are some things I like about Syndicate, but there's also some things I don't like. But I'm honestly really looking forward to playing that. Syndicate is a game that I'm very mixed about, if I'm going to be honest here. It's not that I don't have a problem with the exploration. I don't have a problem with the traversal some people have. I honestly kind of like being able to use the line launcher to traverse like buildings and stuff. I actually do kind of find that like an interesting concept. The main problem with Assassin's Creed Syndicate is the combat. I do not like the combat at all, and I just kind of feel it's just kind of like poorly designed. But I feel like it kind of has Assassin's Creed Syndicate kind of has the same issue as Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where enemies are bullet spongy, and it's kind of really hard to be able to like kill them when they're can take like 1,000 hits before going down. But a little bit further. But I'm still looking forward to playing that. There's actually some things I recently heard about that game. Like I've been seeing gameplay a lot of the DLC focusing on Jack the Ripper, and I'm really excited to be playing that. There's also a DLC released for Syndicate. I believe it's called The Last Maharaja. I have not seen gameplay of that, but I heard a little bit of what it's about. That's another game I'm excited about playing. It's I never played at this point. The only DLC that I've never played relates to is Dead Kings from Assassin's Creed Unity. I completely lost my train of thought. Dead Kings Assassin's Creed Unity, Last Maharaja, and the Jack the Ripper DLC from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And the 2 DLC for Assassin's Creed Origins, and I played half of the Siege of Paris DLC, and I'm played a little bit of the other DLCs, but I have not played like the recent stuff they made. Like they had like I've not even touched like the Ragnarok DLC. I really do not care for the Ragnarok DLC, but and I never even bothered to play it when it came out. But I've also never played like the DLC where it's essentially like a survival thing. It's I can't remember what it's called, but I think you go to like you kind of are forced to go to a different area, and I believe the way it works is you are designed to like progress further and further each time, and every single time you die, you're able to like put points into your character to make it so they can survive more. I'm very mixed on my knowledge of that because I don't know for sure that's how it works. It's just what I remember hearing. There's so much problems that I have with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's just it remains to be like the only Assassin's Creed game that literally made me not want to play that game anymore. I never really had this much of a problem with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, at least until after my second playthrough of the game on New Game Plus. And I started to get really tired of playing the game because initially I was actually gonna do like 100% playthroughs, including New Game Plus, focusing on the 3 different playstyles: Assassin, Warrior, and Hunter. And I did technically a 200% playthrough of Assassin, 100% on both normal and New Game Plus. And I was gonna do the same thing for Warrior and Hunter, and I did halfway through my first playthrough of Warrior before I just got tired of it. But at least I was able to 100% both the main game and the DLC, but the story, subsequent playthroughs essentially is what kind of killed my experience of it, because there's a lot of problems that I noticed that the game had, like, upon, like, hindsight. But the other thing that I was, what are you doing? The other thing that was kind of, oh, you fucking dumbass. The other thing that I was kind of having issues with is there's a lot of problems with the story of Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I had a problem with, and the problems that I had with Assassin's Creed Valhalla is I feel like that they just took the problems with Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I had and made them worse. And it just kind of killed the enjoyment I had with the game, and it's just really kind of unfortunate.
Anyone care for a swim? I'm sure the ice makes these waters most
I don't know why we aren't getting this. I know I told you these things were rare, but we need to, at the very least, take down 2 more prisoners of war ship. I haven't found one yet. I was really hoping I'll be able to get at least a couple of them done, but I don't think it's a case.
loose topsails, gallants and royals.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. No, that's a royal convoy! God damn it! I don't care about you! So now that Royal Convoy is there, we're actually going to go to a different location, because that Royal Convoy is probably going to overwrite the spawn for prisoners of war, so that location is kind of a bust.
Full sail!
Let's go south here and we'll see if we can get a spawn. And I think our third location that we're going to be farming is at the location east of Bliss Bay here. So that's where we're going to be going to next. The unfortunate thing is these spawns are so rare, and it's just kind of funny because I encountered them quite frequently early on in the game and I thought they were pretty common, but if I knew they were so rare, I would honestly have tried to get them done sooner, but yeah, it doesn't look like we have it. Let's go and check the map. We've gotten a little bit further actually. We're gonna go to the past this cape thing, whatever you want to call it. This islet, inlet, peninsula, whatever you want to call it. That's not here. Okay, so let's go ahead and fast up with Glace Bay. Actually, no. Go here first.
Get the mates free! For sale! All sail! Full sails!
We're cutting the ice! We're slicing through the ice!
I guess that's something that I could talk about. If we can get this this achievement done within the hour, I honestly think that we will be able to finish the story within the next hour. So presumably by 3. Maybe we'll even be able to finish the modern day before we come up to 4, but I'm not sure about that. There are some things that may take some time, and that actually involves some of the missions that I may struggle with. But the unfortunate thing is, I'm still increasingly worried about my internet cutting out, and it's a reoccurring issue that I have with this stream. It's really frustrating when it happens. So unfortunately, if my internet does dip out, there's nothing really I can do about it.
Get me some speed! All sail! Shall take it! Full sails!
There's also one thing that I'm honestly kind of getting a little bit worried about, if I'm going to be honest here, and that's if I encounter a prisoner of warship during a storm. Because rogue waves can easily just kill my chances of getting a decent amount of slaves for the achievement. We need to liberate 300 prisoners of war for our ship and for our achievement, and each ship has a maximum of 100 slaves, 100 prisoners. And it's very possible that we may actually be unable to get the prisoners of war thing, get a maximum value of prisoners of war if there's a storm coming. A rogue wave can completely decimate our chances of getting it. So if we encounter a prisoner of war thing and there's a storm going on, it's probably going to screw us out of getting the maximum value. I'm pretty sure that can actually happen. If it can happen during Naval Convoy, things that can happen during POW things.
To full! Blues down! Catch some wind!
I literally was not expecting this to be so rare. I feel like Naval Convoys were definitely more common than this, but I also can't remember if the prisoners of war ship is a frigate or a man of war, so I think Naval Convoys, the main ship was a frigate, but I just can't remember for sure.
Cargo adrift, Captain! A four, Captain!
I can't remember for sure what the thing was for the OW ship. It's not like it's here. Let's go to Harbor Deep. We're gonna keep doing this until we get it, and the unfortunate thing is, because it's so rare, it's probably gonna take a while for us to get 2 ships. And there's also a possibility that we need more than 2 ships. This actually may show some promise, actually, this little spot, because it doesn't look like there's a naval clash here, which is where there's like an ally fighting a ship, but there's actually the naval clash right here. I'm pretty sure this naval clash actually kind of overwrites our chances of getting this, so I don't know, I may be wrong. Yeah, there's actually still a naval clash here. I'm honestly kind of considering just taking that thing out just to, actually... May actually be better at a fast travel to than Miranda.
Unfurled mates! Let's move! Studs out! Let's get moving!
Because at least with the Miranda is actually a little bit closer.
Floating cargo for the
It's possible this may be it. Not sure though. Try to get closer to it. If I see a fist icon, I know it's it, but I don't think it's it. Yeah, it's not it. Let's go ahead and fast travel to Glace Bay again.
Loose and catch the wind!
Loose topsails, gallants and royals!
If we get to the 1 hour mark, we may actually just go to the main story and just say fuck it. But I would like to get this achievement done, but we're just getting very unlucky with the spawns. Again, this is the rarest event in the entire game, so... That's promising. That's maybe it, that may be it.
Mates out!
2 schooners and a frigate? It could also be a naval combo, which I'm honestly hoping it's not the case. No, it's just a random ship. Not what I'm looking for. That's unfortunate. I got so excited there for a second. Okay, then let's just go ahead and go to the Miranda.
Get the mainsails into the wind!
I'm honestly kind of leaning more to the fuck it option, just focus on the story. I don't want this to be like the entire stream, and we will be getting all the achievements that we're missing at the end of the stream, so I'm honestly probably just gonna go fuck it and just do the main story. We spent a lot of time like doing all the side stuff. I honestly kind of want to do the story more. But that's what we're gonna do. It's just, these events are so rare. Let's just go to the North Atlantic and we'll do the story. Sorry for wasting your time, but not panning out well. We'll try and hunt for POW ships later when we go for the other achievements. In fact, before we take care of this main mission, let's go ahead and we have some money in the bank. Go ahead and make a withdrawal. I have an itchy face, hold on.
It seems to me there's more clashes with...
Things are worse than we feared. The assassins found a way to make the precursor box work. They're already preparing an expedition.
Then we must stop them.
Hope controls hundreds of men. The authorities are doing sod all.
What if we were to impersonate her men? We could commit a crime so big, they couldn't ignore those damn brigands anymore.
That sounds like an excellent plan, Jack. Make it so. I will find out where the assassins are hiding.
Is it just me, or did the boss tell us to make trouble?
Enjoy it while you can, Shay. Get him, Shay.
I think we're being followed! You're right. Let's move. Come on! I'm too young to die! Hurry, you fool! Or we're both dead men!
Come on, hurry up and climb. Dude, really? Are you fucking kidding me? That is fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, but that is. Did not even give me a chance to catch up. He was probably within my sight.
I think we're being followed! You're right. Let's move. Come on! I'm too young to die! Hurry, you fool! Or we're both dead men!
There we go.
Don't we make a disgraceful pair of crooks?
No. I make this look good. So what's the target?
The military pay. We'll have to hurry. A regiment is already on its way to the fort where the coins are kept.
Great. And I suppose you have a plan.
The fort holds many prisoners. Get in and hoist the gang's colors. When you do, I'll free them.
You're going to free a bunch of criminals working with the assassins.
Well, we have to turn the army against them, don't we? Remember, you raise the flag, and I'll raise hell.
Okay, so we need to. Is there optional objectives for this? Loot every chest in the fort and lockpick 2 doors. Okay. There's one more thing.
Stand. You there. Stop.
Interloper, raise the alarm!
Okay, 1 minute.
Stop right now! You think...
Okay, let's go ahead and get the flag.
Give it up. He's sent it away back in his hole.
Better listen to him, mate.
Oh, we got it just in the nick of time. Holy shit, we got like 5 seconds left.
To arms!
Time to take down this...
Protect the payroll! Don't let them get our pay!
Dude, are they like immune to smoke bombs? That's news to me. I never encountered those enemies before, but apparently they're immune to smoke bombs. Okay. Should be losing them any minute now. There we are. And it should be on percent sync.
What on earth happened here? The prisoners got loose. They had help from outside. There were just too many of them.
Well then, we're going to have to fix that, aren't we? It's about time we took those criminals down.
It worked, Jack.
With a little luck, the army will crush those damn brigands.
I make my own luck.
100%? Yeah. So let us go to the. We used to use shrapnel bombs, and we used to use 2 shrapnel bombs, and we used 2 smoke bombs, I believe. So let's go ahead and restock on our supplies. And I think we use a sleep dart as well. For anyone curious, there are 6 missions in this game. This sequence, I should say. It'll be the shortest freaking Assassin's Creed game. Well, it's already the shortest Assassin's Creed game ever, but it'll be even worse if there's 6 missions, period. But I guess it'll be more on par with the Telltale game. Shots fired, but yeah, there's 6 missions in this sequence, is what I meant to say.
Be most welcome here, sir.
Go ahead and get ammunitions. Get sleep darts. We'll get shrapnel grenades. And we'll get smoke bombs. Next mission we are going to be doing. I believe it's called Caress of Steel. I don't know if that's the one where you I should probably say that. I should probably continue that thought. But I don't know if it's the one where you do the next assassination mission is I guess what I'm trying to say, or if it's the one after that. There was actually 3 assassination missions in this sequence, so well technically 3 if you got the last one.
Where is your boss? I'll never tell. She'll kill me.
If you don't tell, he'll kill you.
She's in that big mansion. The one with the gardens.
Shall we go?
You didn't
Oh,
mention you
Jensen.
had a hidden blade.
You thought you were the only one?
Well, yes, I suppose. Where did you get that?
It was donated by the Brotherhood.
I see. The mission was a success. The army should make its move any time now.
Good. We lack the resources in New York to handle these criminals ourselves. With a little luck, we might be rid of them once and for all.
I make my own luck.
Now let us cut off the snake's head.
Sir, we can confirm. The woman is inside.
Perfect. Time to smoke her out.
I'll go in and get Hope myself.
Don't let them in! Don't let them in! They've breached the gate!
Not today.
We have everything we need. Now, Chevalier will be expecting me. Hope?
Bon voyage. About time you showed up. Sorry it had to come to this, Shay.
This is honestly a mission I was not looking forward to because I do kind of consider it to be one of the harder
You're
missions.
a fascinating fellow.
And specifically for this part here, do not get damaged by the poison clouds. As long as you don't touch the floor, you should be good, but it's very easy for you to screw up at least. I believe it is. There is one mission later on that I do find to be harder. But we got it.
You have more endurance than I expected, Shay.
This next one is really tricky.
Poison slows my heart. I have to move. That's it. Moving keeps my heart beating.
I'm actually gonna reload. Because you're not supposed to get in conflict in this part, and I just did.
What is this? Poison slows my heart. I have to move. That's it. Moving keeps my heart beating. I need to find Hope. Get the antidote.
Stop!
You never give up, do you?
Okay. Almost on to you, Hope. Trying to get an air assassination that had the aerial advantage. You fucking dick. And I don't have the aerial advantage. God damn it. If I didn't take that much damage from that sharpshooter, I probably would have gone it. And also was not expecting her to do that assassination thing.
You never give up, do you?
Oi, hold!
No matter. The poison will kill you.
Dude, fuck, Shay. Are you fucking kidding me? Get out of here. Literally never had that issue with that person before. Dude, I fucking hate this poison. This is why I hate this assassination mission, because Hope just spams those things, and it makes it just so fucking annoying. Then all she does is spam poison. Dude, I'm not losing her. What the fuck is going on? I'm not losing her. I'm not losing her. Stop with this random fucking bullshit. Dude, this is just stupid. This is literally stupid.
I'll catch up with you one way or another. Mark my word. Fleeing is futile. You're on our territory. Huh? He cannot be allowed to move.
Get back here, Hope. There we go. Shot to the gut.
You're late. Again, Shay.
Hope. I didn't want to do this.
I trained you to do this. I expected nothing less.
Then why?
To give Liam time to leave. Soon Chevalier will be on his way to the precursor site.
I will stop him.
He will see you coming. Pity. You had so much potential.
Design-wise, I think Hope is probably one of my favorites. I love her robe, but this is probably my least favorite mission of the entire game. And it's not that the mission is overtly difficult. It's just a chase to fucking kill Hope Jensen makes it unenjoyable to me. And it's just, it could have been better. It honestly could have been better, but we got it done. We got 100% sync. That's all that matters. And it's just, it's not that she is. I will say that probably my biggest complaint of this game is there's not much you can do. I think that Hope technically counted as a. I'm gonna go to general story again. I think that Hope technically counted as what was like a captain tier enemy where she can't be countered. She can't be counter killed. She can't. She's actually immune to smoke bombs. And she also, I believe she's one of the. She's like the type of enemy where she can only be disarmed and killed that way. But I could be wrong. I actually tried to do a couple things. I actually tried to break her defense with B and A, or circle and X if you're playing on PlayStation. But it just didn't work. I also tried counter kill because she opened up when I approached her the first time. She opened up with an assassination thing. I was able to counter it, but I wasn't able to do a counter kill like you are able to do with stalkers. So, if you're really struggling against her, best suggestion I can get is just pump her ass full of lead. I'll check a bow out if you're a fan of Red vs. Blue. Been actually watching like a lot of reaction videos of Red vs. Blue. I've watched the entire series. At least the ones that matter. I don't really care for anything past season 13. But I may actually go back to it. I may actually watch it because they just kind of announced the final season of Red vs. Blue. But I just been loving like people's reactions to Tucker, like at season 4 when he just first starts doing the bow chicka bow wow thing. But yeah, if you're joking aside, if you're struggling against Hope Jensen, it might actually be easier to just shoot her in the ass. That's my best bet. If you can get a line up a headshot, go for it. But if not, feel free to aim. Feel free to press Y to do a quick shot like I did. I'll take it about 3 hits.
We're in the Atlantic again.
Shay and the Templars are going after the assassin expedition.
Go team!
Master Cormac, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I was stopping to restock my ship when I heard the talented Captain Cook was here. We have a word.
At your service, as always.
I'm looking for a man. Captain Louis-Joseph Gauthier, Chevalier de la Vérendrye.
The explorer. I have heard of him and his illustrious family.
I must see him.
Ah, send my regards. Or not. He sailed east a few days ago on a heading to Anticosti.
Indeed.
I would advise caution.
Oh, I've been there before.
Then, I bid you good fortune. I will be sailing past Conception Bay, should you require further assistance.
Much obliged.
The Grand Master is pleased, Shay, what you did in New York. Yeah, it's only a matter of time now before order is restored.
New York was never orderly, Gist. With hope gone, perhaps.
It couldn't have been easy for you, my lad. But you did what you had to do.
I keep telling myself that.
We're almost rid of the assassins in New York. And it's not as if the Hellcat didn't try to make you wear a pine overcoat. You had no other choice.
I chose to cast my lot with the Templars.
And we are glad you did. No, had you not, you might have found yourself at the end of Master Kenway's blade.
Or yours.
That's the spirit. Look, Shay, by killing Hope, you not only saved yourself and half of New York from the assassin's poisons, you also learned the path we must take next. Now our task is simple. Prevent a group of paper-skull killers from destroying our...
I don't know what we're doing here.
All in a day's work.
A long day. Guessed.
Wait.
Sensitive, sir, but what did you learn from the departed damsel?
That she's cleverer than I even thought. Her whole ruse was to give Liam time to get back to Chevalier. They must have already set sail to a new precursor site.
Determined to the end. I must say, I admire the misguided...
Close enough to them that the prisoner of war thing isn't popping up.
The assassins won't stop their mad quest. They're desperate to find a piece of Eden. Especially now that half of their Brotherhood is dead.
It is interesting to see a man of war here, but it may just be because of the specific mission, or it could be because of the state of the game. But usually this is an area where man of war typically spawn. I actually thought that may have been a prisoner of war thing, but I don't think it is.
Surely we're nearing our goal. There may be an alternate route to the west!
Oh, gonna crash and land.
Anticosti is famed for its shipwrecks. They likely believe no one would venture into such dangerous waters.
None but fools and madmen, perhaps? Watch out for those icebergs, Captain.
This is also another mission I don't particularly like, but it's honestly, I like it a little bit more than the assassination thing for Help Jensen. So I'll just go ahead and say this. As of right now, there is one optional objective, and that is to avoid open conflict. You can use sleep darts on guards, but so long as you are not detected, it should be fine. The other one thing that I will say is this will actually require you to pickpocket the leader of this area. There is an easy way, and I'm gonna try and go for the easy way. The hard way is trying to pickpocket him when he is out in the open.
This man stands before you in disgrace. Greed has corrupted his character and put our very livelihood in peril. We bow to no laws save our own. And those laws decree that any betrayal is met with the gravest punishment. Let this be a reminder. Obey the code. Now back to your posts. Mills deserved to swing. This place would be overrun with redcoats if we hadn't found him out.
Makes you wonder how many other rats rule this island.
Only a matter of time before someone paid the price. Captain's been spitting bile ever since the Frenchmen left.
Never trusted.
There he is. Because I'm gonna wait for him to come back. You should come in this building and remain there for a little bit. I'm gonna wait for him to come back to this building. One thing that I am getting a little bit nervous about is I don't know if there is a stalker hiding in that hay bale. Because if I go around this corner and he attacks me, it will ruin this whole thing. And you can see that there is definitely a stalker in this area, but the only place it could be hiding is in there.
These documents are nothing but blasted symbols and nonsense. That French devil was always one for secrets. But he has found the site of a great treasure. I'm sure of it.
Better head back to the Morrigan.
The French are gone. We should lay low for a while.
Okay.
Lost! She's been found!
Damage report!
Taking heavy damage, sir!
Hold fast! We wait for the captain!
You should have 100% sync.
Get me some speed!
We must leave, sir!
You'll have no arguments from me. Set sails! Make haste!
We're overmatched, sir! The Royal Navy!
Thank you, Captain Cook. I have a feeling this was you.
Still can't get used to that.
King George's men will take care of those pirates. We've got our own battles to fight.
Hey, now that my 100% sync, at least it should be when we leave this area. Now, the reason why this area is hard is very easy for stalkers. The reason why I dislike this mission is it's very easy for stalkers to ambush you, and if they attack you, that counts as open conflict, and you will fill that optional objective.
Far closer escape than I'm comfortable with. But we have what we came for.
Then we know where De La Vérendrye's ships are headed?
Not quite. But we have the means to find out. We'll need Cook to interpret these maps.
Then we should set sail for the coast of Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Isn't that in Europe? Hold on, I need to look this up. I'm pretty sure Newfoundland is in Europe. Why are they going that far away? They're traversing the ocean. Newfoundland. Oh, it's in Canada. That makes more sense. I don't know why I thought Newfoundland was in Europe. It's in Canada. That would honestly kind of make more sense. Sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and pass over here. St. John's. So we only have 2 missions, 2 memories left. If we pause the game, go into progress tracker. We're only missing the last 2 missions. This is the assassination mission for the De La Varendree. And the final one is, well, there's only really 2 characters left in the assassin order that we'll be confronting, so I'm pretty sure you can guess who we'll be going after. I don't think it'll be a spoiler to say that what we're going to be going after when already everyone else is dead, so I guess if you haven't been paying much attention, then you may think that Hope will be your next target, but pretty sure it's kind of obvious. I hope that doesn't sound like insulting, but there's really only 2 targets left. And one of them is clearly alive if you play Assassin's Creed 3.
The ice isn't stopping us.
I honestly really like the ending of this game, like the final mission. It's kind of annoying if I'm gonna be honest here. But I do kind of like it. I do kind of like how it ends. Like the mission itself, the final mission itself is kind of annoying. But I do still like it.
Short sail!
Master Cormac, I didn't expect to see you again so soon.
I found Liberate Andre's travel plans. But the devil used some kind of code. I can't figure it out. Maybe you'll have better luck.
How strange. It is a very old cipher. I have seen it once before. I could draw you a map.
Or you could accompany me. Help me find Liberate Andre.
An urgent matter, then. Very well. We shall sail together again.
I gather you have some history with our friend de la Varendree?
A history... and loathing. I should have known not to trust my friends who embraced such a wretch.
My goodness, what could this fellow have done to inspire such enmity? I know him only as one of a family of explorers, extending the boundaries of the known world.
From the brief encounters I've had with him, I can tell you he's an irascible person.
That's a polite way of saying he's a cantankerous bastard.
His actions surpass his words.
I suspect history will believe so, my dear cook.
The actions that enter the history books in any case. Master Cook, how far south have you traveled?
Oh, not far. Only about Nantucket, really.
I knew a man from there, but that's another matter. Have you not even been to the West Indies?
Not yet, but the West Indies are well mapped already.
Ah, you're looking for a challenge, are you?
Well, frankly, yes. My skills are better suited to newly discovered regions like Newfoundland and Labrador.
Say I saw a map. I can't say from where.
There aren't enough blankets
A
in the
delicate
world
matter.
to keep you warm here.
Diplomatic, perhaps.
You guess my meaning. On this map, there were lands I think no man has seen. Well, no man from our empire at least.
A land no man has seen. You have me intrigued. Where is it?
south of the Japans and China. As far east of Madagascar as Lisbon is from Boston.
But there's nothing there. And it would take an unusually provisioned ship to even attempt such a journey.
I think we know a group that might sponsor such a voyage.
I'll tell you more later, Captain Cook. A man could make his name with such a daring discovery.
Huh. So I was letting that play out because I had a feeling if I just sailed towards the expedition, the conversation would be interrupted. Which I think is what happened last time I did 100% playthrough this game. Which was on the remastered version for the Xbox One / Series X. I don't know if they were actually talking about the final thing, because I always thought that the... Oh, god damn it, fucking storm. Because I always thought that the area, the
Did you hear that?
place they were going to was in the North Atlantic.
Deep within the fog.
Could it be the Lavarandri?
Perhaps. This is a secret expedition. They won't be keen to leave any witnesses to their voyage.
Man at sea. I think
Very interesting. It's kind of makes me want to stroke my little beard, because it's a real chin scratcher. I don't know if he's talking about like where you go and find a mission or not.
A fleet, Captain! We found them!
Let us hope we're not too late. They have us at a serious disadvantage.
We're gaining on them. Morrigan won't let us down.
Not underestimate!
we got it.
Luckily, I have so much health that I can just tank everything. Oh, did I just lose it?
It won't slow us down for long, and perhaps it will help us take them by surprise.
Race! It's an ambush!
Steady the ship! Where are they?
They're within mortar range, that's all I know.
To four.
Unfurl mains! Let's move!
Loose the mains, half sail!
Ease off the wind!
There it is.
Let all sail! Loose and trim too!
Full sails!
Flotsam, sir. It's the gear full.
Irksome to the last. Liberate must have stayed behind to stop us.
And no doubt volunteered for the job. Gallant royals, good! Fire! Fire! Who's up? These are six! Fire!
Am I still on par to get that? Yeah.
Working up fire!
We got her, Captain. What a bird.
We'll tear her to splinters!
Well, that was easy.
Stars on sail!
We struck the ice.
God damn it. Reload. I literally literally did not even notice that iceberg there.
Loose all! Let's move!
Full sail!
Haul in the sunset! Fire! Loose and trim too!
Damage report! What's the news?
Cargo, correct over here, sir.
It's the near full.
Irksome to the last. Driver Andre must have
Then we have room.
stop us.
Fire! Fire!
Hold tight! Here they come!
There we go.
He's dead in the water! Prepare for boardage!
Don't sink her! We still need to lower Andre's charts!
Now, I'm actually gonna try and kill him with the puckle gun like I did with the other guy. Dude, stop moving. Stop fucking moving. There we go.
So, cabbage farmer, are you still convinced the Templars are right?
Convinced to the end.
Oh.
You bastard! Achilles and Liam have already headed north!
Hope was right. I do make a good distraction.
Ah!
I think he just threw him overboard. You could hear the splash, so it's definitely what he did. They can't really tell those little memory things, but everything just kind of looks blocky, whatever they want to call it.
Thanks for your help, Captain Cook.
You're welcome, Captain Cormac. Sailing with you is certainly, interesting.
Trouble does seem to find us, it's true.
Tell me the truth. Are you fellows with a larger organization? The Board of Admiralty. You take your orders directly from His Majesty, don't you?
We couldn't tell you, even if we were.
You should have these maps. The Levet Andre won't need them anymore. We'll contact you in regards to sponsoring future voyages, Captain.
Much obliged.
Oh, I was not paying attention. I was not paying attention to that status thing. I need to check. I think it should be 100% the same, but I was not paying attention. Yeah, it is. I was literally zoning out and just press B or A, whatever button I pressed. We did get 100% on that. That was fun. You know what? For old time's sake, let's just go ahead and sail there.
Give me some speed!
It's our final mission. We may as well have fun.
As much sail as you can!
Some fresh meat here, sir.
Loose sails! Let's catch the wind!
There's fish in these waters, Captain.
Actually, I don't want to deal with the storm. Change the plan and just go ahead and fast travel. Storms suck. Hopefully resetting the area will get rid of the storm, because that's what I want more. So this next mission... this next mission is not really hard per se if you take your time and you're paying attention. But it's probably more annoying. I do kind of just... As I said before, this sequence has 3 missions I don't particularly like. The whole mission, the sneaking into the,
Loose and catch the wind!
whatever it's called, the, Anticosti, and this mission are missions I don't particularly like. But, we have to do them all, so. Wouldn't be 100% playthrough if we skip out on the last mission of the game. And honestly, the first half isn't that bad, if I'm going to be honest here. It's just the second half that I tend to struggle with. Because I'm just like to run forward and...
Master Kenway!
The La Vérendrye's dead. I have the coordinates. I know where the assassins are going.
Then, let us make haste.
If you take your time, if you're paying attention, this mission will probably be pretty easy for you. But if you're not, at the very least, the second half may give you some problems. Like if you're not able to get to cover quick enough, and that's all I'll say without getting into spoilers. You'll see what I mean when we get there, and I'll actually make...
Liam found the precursor site.
The world is still standing. If they uncovered it, they have not yet set the Earth in motion.
How gentlemanly of them.
There should still be time. Master Gist, stay here. I shall accompany Shay.
Sir, with respect, are you sure that's wise?
As Grand Master, I must investigate this precursor matter to the end, and witness the death of Achilles' Brotherhood.
If the assassins do trigger an earthquake, at least there's few around to suffer.
I have no intention of letting your former colleagues destroy a precursor site, regardless.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they're gonna continue having dialogue here. In case you do, I'll just stay here. I'll get into I'll mention the part that I typically struggle with when we get to that part. But the first half shouldn't be too bad.
This would be beautiful if it wasn't so damn cold.
Tread carefully. Some of this ice is rather thin.
But for right now, there's no optional objectives.
That's a hefty crew Achilles brought.
I doubt he expects all of them to survive these conditions.
Hey, this area looks actually kind of... See a freaking narwhal jumping out, that's kind of funny. This area actually looks pretty beautiful.
That's bleak. But we're still outnumbered. Let's keep a low profile, avoid unnecessary fights.
Your assassins would scarce recognize you. Come, let us enter their parlor.
Trying to give us the slip, maggot?
Okay. So far, so good. And for those curious, the optional objectives are not related to combat, so at this part you can just...
Go on, Shay. I will find another way.
At this part, you can just, fight to your heart's content. You can actually literally just run through and, like, get in combat and kill everyone, but I'm gonna try to remain somewhat stealthy. Thankfully, enemies in Assassin's Creed rarely look up, so we should be safe up here. I think if there's anything these assassins or these... I don't think they're Frenchmen, but you think if there's anything these people learn, just look up.
We collect protection money. We run brothels. We import and export whatever the people want, provided. I will not. You can't do
Come on. And dead. This is a part where it's gonna be where the optional objectives are gonna come up, so I don't think it's here yet. No, it's not. Go forward. Still not here. But to explain like what it is we need to do for these optional objectives, one of them is we can't get hit by these beams, which only lasts about midway through. And the other one is to knock a shot by Liam. Surprising it's not come up yet. God, I'm reloading. I don't know why I jumped. I was not trying. I shouldn't. It's not that I wasn't trying to, it's just I was not thinking. Wait. Can't wait for that to come back. There we go.
Is this the apple?
No, don't touch anything. Shay was right.
What would he know?
More than me, apparently.
Finally, you understand. Achilles. This is a structure to hold the world together, not a weapon to control it. This whole calamity could have been avoided if you'd only listened to me.
Disrespectful to the end.
Yes, we've been working on that.
Right or wrong, Shay? You betrayed the Brotherhood, Achilles, and me.
You didn't really give us much of a choice.
Shot me in the back.
At the homestead. That was Chevalier. I don't miss.
Liam, don't.
Nice job, dumbass. Dude, stop! You fucking dick! Really? For some reason, I was not thinking it was a chase section. I was trying to be careful and not hit the beams. This is where the beams actually start, not the area before. I thought it was the area before. Dude, you better not make me lose him. I've been running at full speed this entire time. Okay, we got the first one done. The other one is honestly kind of more difficult. We can't be shot by Liam.
Did you have to bring the damn manuscript and box all the way out here, Liam?
The precursor box is safe, Shay. Chevalier took care of that. You'll never find it. Was it you? Tell me!
I had to!
No! You chose to!
Okay.
Your luck has run out! A cold grave awaits you!
he shot me in a cutscene. If that causes me to fail it, I'm gonna be pissed. He shot me in the cutscene. I literally could not avoid that. I will be pissed if I counted it. I was right in midair.
Lucky. How many times do I have to tell you, Liam? I make my own luck.
How'd you do that? You bastard. You broke the assassins. Betrayed everyone you knew. You sided with our worst enemies. And for what?
To save the world.
I hope that world is a good one.
Please don't screw me out of this. I literally could not avoid it. I got shot in a cutscene. That wasn't a normal air assassination. That was scripted. That was like a program. That's not like normal gameplay camera. That's cinematic. I know for a fact it was a cinematic cutscene. He shot me right in there. You can see the blood flying off me. I'll be pissed if that caused me to lose it. I literally had no control over that. That's stupid. If that caused me to miss out on 100%, then I'm gonna be pissed. But I should go back and get it once we are done with this. I literally can't tell if I got it or not. I guess we'll find out. Please, gaming gods, do not fuck me.
No!
Why not?
Achilles is harmless now. A mentor with no followers. What kind of world are we making if we cannot show mercy? Besides, he understands what these precursor sites are now. Without him, the assassins may continue their search.
Valid points.
God. That would have been so stupid if I got shot in a cutscene and it counted as me not getting it. For those of you that may not have caught this, I was kind of lingering on that cliff waiting for that shot thing, and I thought he got off a shot, so that's when I went to go for the assassination thing. Then as soon as I pressed X, for me it's X to assassinate, I got shot in the cinematic cutscene where Shay assassinates Liam. I just wanted to clarify, this was not a normal gameplay cutscene of me doing an air assassination. The camera angle was not at Shay's back, it was towards his front. That was a cinematic cutscene, and the stuff is outside of my control. I highly doubt I could even pause it in that moment. That was a cinematic cutscene, not a gameplay cutscene. So I do not think that I could have paused it to restart if that did actually count. Thank fucking God we got 100% sync. I would have been pissed.
Never forget what has happened here.
If we lost 100% because of that.
I won't. But the world will.
So what happens now?
Master Gist will be in charge of eradicating any remaining traces of the assassins. Master Weeks and the others will assist him, of course.
Achilles has lost everything. He won't dare leave his homestead.
You won't.
Sorry about that.
Although our search for precursor sites is at an end, I want that box. You will find it for the Templar Order, and for me.
Could be anywhere in the world by now. It may take years to find it.
It may take your lifetime. Are you up for the challenge? Good.
Two gamer scores for 40G. That was for completing.
Who knew that Shay had that kind of potential?
Well, look at that later. Because we're about to get another one.
I have everything I need to complete our assignment here.
One last job, Numbskull. We need you to upload Shay's story.
But not to Helix. I want some very specific people to see what we have found here.
Okay, so let's actually go ahead and pause it real quick. Look at those achievements. The achievements we got was for visit every location as a game, as I said we would. And we just got sequence 6. So both those are 20 gamer score, those are 3. Guys, a 2 for 40G. 2 achievements for 40 gamer score. We're about. Great, now we have.
From this point on, no doors will be closed to you.
Now we have everything we need to.
The assassins had a noble goal, that of peace. But over the centuries, that goal eroded into a far more dangerous one. Freedom.
Shit. What's going on now?
A minor setback.
Okay. Your communicator doesn't work right now, and it must be dark as hell down there. But I can show you the way. There! Just follow those lights and you'll be set. I promise, you won't die if you follow the bright lights.
I don't know why I said we're gonna die if you don't follow them.
I haven't steered you wrong yet, have I? Follow the lights.
What the fuck do you think I'm doing, lady?
Please hurry, Numbskull. It all comes down to this.
Your communicator should work now. The Assassin Brotherhood still exists today, and they remain dedicated to their foolish cause. I am a Templar Knight. I protect the world from the assassins. Today, you have helped me to fulfill this role. Please, restore the servers.
It's been a while since I here. The last time I was here was a couple years ago, and I presented the Morrigan map. It's like it's the same fucking minigame, so. There you go. It's funny how the hacking minigames has more variety on Black Flag than it does on Rogue. That's for a short run time or something. Or short run reason.
Ottoberg, the big star of the Animus training program. Show me what you've got, you arrogant prick.
If you insist, Master Cross. I believe that my training will soon be complete. Wouldn't you agree? What's so funny?
I was wrong about you. You're not arrogant. You're just deeply fucking stupid.
Oh.
Your body, your mind, they're not yours anymore. You understand? All you have left are the voices.
I don't suffer from your condition. My Animus sessions were carefully...
No! My voices are ghosts! Dead! So they can only ever say the same things over and over and over and over. But the ones in your head will never die. And they own you now.
I am the Order's humble servant.
You're not even a person anymore. You're a tool, a weapon, a plaything.
We're done here.
with a glorious new world order, there won't be any room for broken toys like us!
Huh. Interesting.
You have exceeded my every expectation. Use that terminal to upload Shay's story to the Assassin Network. It's time to show the Brotherhood the modern-day assassins are weak. It is only a matter of time before I catch the last of them and kill them. But it is not enough for them to die.
What happened in Haiti happened in Portugal. A great earthquake. Thousands dead thanks to your damned manuscript.
Get him out of here.
I want them to know how weak they truly are. And I want everyone to see them suffer. So on the day they finally meet me, they will welcome the death I offer them.
Shay was right.
What would he know?
More than me, apparently.
My plan is in motion. I have no further demands to place upon you. However, Shay's story is not complete. I would ask that you see it through to the end.
So, if there's one thing that I will say,
I am super impressed, Numbskull. You really came through for us. And yes, I am also a Templar. Have been for years.
if there is one thing that I will say is that thing, what they have actually before we our main mission is let's go back to the thing. We're gonna hold that for later. There's one thing I will say is that ending. If you may have caught that, like there's like a chat forum where I say William Miles is dead, blah 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 blah. Then what are we gonna do? It's a great purge all over again. I'm actually gonna finish my thought before I wrap with this. I'm actually gonna go back to the server area and check it out again. There is no resolution to that. Like they never brought up the ending of this again. So for all we know, Assassin's Creed Rogue could be non-canon or at least in relation to the modern day. Because we never hear anything about what happened after this. Obviously, if you have played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you will know that William Miles isn't dead. You even see him in Assassin's Creed Origins as well. So the ending of this with all the assassins freaking out, saying it's great purge over again. This was not brought up in Assassin's Creed Unity. This was not brought up in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This was not brought up in the RPG game. For all we know, this plot point is a dead end. It does not lead anywhere. And I'm honestly just kind of curious about that. Like, what if they're just planning on just abandoning this plot point, or if they just simply just don't care about this anymore? Legitimately kind of curious. In any case, new tablet. This is tablet document 11 to Jean-Francois. Before I go in and enter this, just as a reminder, for YouTube only, for YouTube I typically have like a end of streams video where I just read all the new journal entries for the database. It's harder for me to do this on the modern day because when I load back up the tablets, it's harder for me to figure out like what tablets I've read and what I haven't because it'll just put me at the top of the list. So to make things easier for myself, any text entries I encounter in the modern day, I will be reading in the stream. So I really do apologize for this. It's going to be actually the more boring part of this, but this is for YouTube. To Jean-Francois Brunet from Melanie LeMay, date 10 August 2014. Subject, Cesare Borgia. Hi, after looking over the footage that you presented, I've decided that rather than dedicate an entire feature to the loathsome Cesare Borgia, I'll use it to add some spice and conflict to the existing Rodrigo Borgia piece. Cesare is just too much of an asshole to have his own show. Melanie LeMay. So it's just kind of funny because I actually really like Cesare Borgia as an antagonist, but he's kind of. I do kind of feel like that Rodrigo Borgia is probably more popular, but it's kind of funny how they just kind of gave him the shaft in this. In case to actually go back down, it is a tablet number 12 of 20. Just gonna look around this bottom floor here just to see if we can find anything. We're looking for tablets. There's nothing down here, let's just go. Yeah, the basement to clear out and all the remaining terminals on all the floors to do, so. And unfortunately, this is the fastest I can go. I'm gonna do clicking the left thing to fast walk, I guess you could say. But the walking speed is definitely low. There's another tablet. Tablet document 17 to Chloe Leslie from Mounty LeMay. Date 8 September 2014. Subject Nikolai Orlov. I think he's a character from the Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russian game, but I'm not entirely sure. I like this take a lot. A psychotic Russian terrorist meddles in the affairs of a once proud monarchy. Now, for the first time in history, learn the truth, I should say, about Russia's swift and brutal descent into anarchy. I can't read for some reason, and chaos at the genesis. I'm not sure about White Death as a name though. Radical Reds, The Fall. Haha, I suck at naming. But I think we need to sit down and hammer out a final title. Coffee soon, Mounty LeMay. I believe that's a reference to the third and I think final title for the I think it's the third and final God, I can't think what it's called, Chronicles game. So there you go, we got it. That was a little bit tricky.
Duncan Walpole rose through the ranks to become a master assassin. But he was restricted by a Brotherhood which chose to send him across the ocean to the West Indies, rather than find a way to nurture his potential. Once there, Duncan attracted the notice of Laureano Torres, former governor of Cuba and Templar Grand Master. Through their correspondence, Torres offered a less violent way to achieve their mutual goals, by using precursor artifacts as a surveillance system rather than the murders and scheming favored by the Brotherhood. Sadly, Duncan was killed by a pirate before the Templars could help him achieve his potential. Although Duncan's story does not have a happy ending, it clearly demonstrates that the Templars' highest goals of peace and order need not exclude personal success and achievement.
Interesting. I didn't remember that Duncan Walpole had like a thing. That's kind of interesting to me. Didn't go into it. really keep an eye out for hidden tablets. There we go.
Sean Hastings was a university professor whose hobby was leaking Abstergo secrets. He was hours away from being killed by Abstergo when he was saved by Rebecca Crane, an assassin hacker. Since then, the pair have been inseparable, providing technical support for assassin field agents. Hastings and Crane infiltrated Abstergo Entertainment Montreal in late 2013, and were responsible for the theft of classified information. It is unclear if they planted the virus currently affecting the Helix servers, or if they merely left the door open for other hackers to exploit. Rebecca Crane's skills are not to be underestimated. She created the Animus 2.0, an assassin version of Warren Viddick's original machine. It appears that she was also largely responsible for establishing a new, more secure assassin network. It would seem Crane and Hastings have been promoted within the Brotherhood. There are rumors that they are now leading some kind of hacker collective known as the Initiates, and attempting to lure them to the assassin side.
Well, yeah, they mentioned the Initiates, and the Initiates was actually the multiplayer feature of Assassin's Rogue. You can actually you can tactfully see its place if you go to the title screen. Unfortunately, support for the Initiates has been closed down by Ubisoft, so I will not be able to show it off. But I don't even know what the Initiates is, if I'm going to be honest here. But it was a thing that you could actually do. I think it was actually the multiplayer thing. I don't think it was like the multiplayer in the sense of let's say like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think it was more like a like a competition kind of thing. I'm not really sure how it worked, but I don't think it was like this. It's like the PvP kind of thing. Well, you could say the Black Flag. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me look into this one more. One more time, I should say. There it is. I knew there's a reason why. I should have. I knew there's a reason why I should have taken another look. Tablet number 20, to Evan Dean from Melanie LeMay, date 29 September 2014, subject conspiracies. Hi Evan, I want to diversify our programming a bit and attract a big of the French element in terms of customer base. Big. I don't know what that means. I think it meant to say attract a bit of the French element. Yeah, that's the type of that. That makes more sense. With that in mind, I thought a new series focused on crazy conspiracy shit might be right up your alley. A few subjects to focus on. Hermeticis, no idea what that is. A lost civilization in Lemuria. Miracles in the Bible. Planetary consciousness and singularity. I'd like to see if we can get some big time celebrities to narrate these things. At first glance, they'll probably balk at the subject matter. But I bet if we feed them the script in chunks that are out of order, we can easily manipulate them into thinking they are participating in a proper science documentary. Go nuts, Melanie LeMay. That's funny. We may not be able to access everything and
One last chunk of Shay's data left to explore. It's a bit of a trip, but I think you should see it.
you may not be able to access everything until we come back to the modern day. Let's go to the lobby. There's some things we can do there. So I'm actually, can I look at the map in this? I can't remember. I cannot. I honestly can't remember. I know there's 2 locked doors over there. I can't remember. This is server area. That's a security place, and I can't go in there. That's the bathrooms and baños.
How about now? No?
Tablet number 9 to Jean-Francois Burnett from Melanie LeMay. Date 4 August 2014. Subject Robert Desab, and that's actually how you pronounce the name. It's not Robert Desable. It's Robert Desab. It's actually a French name. Or actually, it's Robert Desab. I'm starting to have second thoughts about doing a feature on Robert Desab. While he was a great leader, I just don't know that there's anything about a knight that fought and died during the Crusades that makes him stand out. I'm wondering if we can leave him aside for now and focus on Madeleine Delisle. A successful businesswoman in pre-colonial Louisiana is more of a feel-good success story. Melanie LeMay.
No. Why isn't this working?
There we go. One wasn't too bad.
This is a priority message to all Sigma Team operatives. Assassins have stolen an artifact from a Rotterdam storage facility. Rally point is at 51.887107 by 4.559017. Be there at 0600 local time. Stragglers will be put to death, so move it. Listen up, losers. There are 2 confirmed assassins operating in the city. Target number 1 is Harlan Cunningham, the only survivor of a cell in Florence that our fearless leader eradicated a couple of years back. He stole the precursor box and is on the run. Target number 2 has been identified as Aaron Shoot, former MMA champion, and now Cunningham's disciple and lover. How romantic. He's running interference, murdering our Templar agents embedded in Abstergo facilities throughout the city.
Sorkin, take Sigma Team and go after Shoot. I will take down Cunningham myself and recover the artifact.
I don't like the idea of you going alone, boss.
I want to deal with him personally. Sigma Team, maintain contact with Violet at all times. You have your orders.
Sorkin, you dipshit! Don't engage him hand to hand. Pull your men back.
Get some! He's got my gun!
Sniper 1, do you have a shot?
Negative. He's using Sorkin as a shield.
He's tearing us apart! Take the shot!
I hit Sorkin. He dropped a smoke bomb. I've lost visual.
He's gone.
Didn't go too well for him.
SRQ, pick up your sorry asses and get to the extraction point. Double time.
Just fucking kill me already.
I had a dream about you.
Ah, that's sweet. But I'm with someone.
In my dream, you never made it out of Florence alive.
What can I say? I'm too stubborn to die. Hello, lover.
Hercule!
We can't leave the box behind.
Fuck that! I killed half the Sigma team. Let's quit while we're ahead.
See you in your dreams, Berg.
What a shit show.
That's funny.
Compile the relevant parts of our audio logs and send them to Letitia, England. Tell her this is exactly why she should be letting us hunt assassins.
That's actually pretty funny. You can actually kind of hear like the, like. For those curious, there's been like a lot of people, including myself, who just keep on like thinking that they should do a modern day Assassin's Creed with modern elements, like sort of like a black box missions, like all those type of things that people loved about the Assassin's Creed games, just integrated into the integrated into the modern day, essentially. And there's so many people, there's two sides of people. There's some people that say, oh, that could never happen. But there's also people that say, that would be too hard to do, that would be blah, 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 blah. Personally, I do feel like it can be done. And whenever I hear moments like that of modern assassins just getting into conflict with Templars, it makes me really excited for the prospect of that.
The kill box is live. Sorkin's picking off the stragglers as they escape.
Good. Proceed to stage 2.
All points, the word is given. Stage 2 is a go. I repeat, stage 2 is a go.
Get those doors down.
3, 2. Adriano Maestranzi, I have come for you.
What's he holding?
Vittoria agli assassini.
Bomb! Berg! Sigma team? Anyone, do you copy?
For anyone curious what FUBAR means, it's an acronym used in the military. It means fucked up beyond all recognition. I actually went through most of my early life hearing that phrase and not knowing what it meant. But that's what it means. I'm gonna save the Helix servers for last. I think there's some stuff we can do in the CEO office. About 30 minutes before we typically end the stream, but as I said, we can go a little bit long tonight. I'm not quite sure. At this point, we may be able to end at a normal time, but we still have a little bit to do, so we'll see. I think I already did, I think. But I thought that blue light there was a tablet. It's just like a voicemail machine. I honestly cannot remember. There's like a locked door here. This is a baños, bathroom. Those curious, baños is Spanish for bathroom. It may be kind of obvious to some, but
I'm hungry.
this is a place I unlocked. We may not be able. I think what I'm actually going to do, we have some stuff that's still locked off for us. Let's actually just go to the, let's go interact with our Animus, progress the story again, and once we're back in gameplay, then we will, go back and explore, because we have a bunch of stuff that's locked off for us, so I want to make sure we're able to actually do everything. Let's go to Helix Research.
Once you go back to finish Jay's story, your life is never going to be the same afterwards. You should finish any outstanding business before entering your Animus.
I don't like the sound of that. Unfortunately,
I'm bored out of my skull. But orders are orders, and my orders are to stand right here.
on hacking computers on this board, there really isn't much that we can do, but we'll just go ahead and take care of that, I guess. The Banos?
I can't stop crafting oculi. It's like a disease.
There you go.
Speak.
Why has Violet DaCosta been removed from Sigma Team?
I'm reassigning our assets as I see fit to align with the goals of the Phoenix Project.
The Phoenix Project? Sigma Team would be of more use hunting down the remaining assassins. Let Delta Team hunt precursor relics instead.
Those relics are the key to sequencing First Civilization DNA. Accomplishing that goal will in turn make the assassins even less of a threat than they are now.
Be that as it may, Agent DaCosta should not be wasted on something like Abstergo Entertainment.
Last year's fiasco with the Sample 17 project showed me that Abstergo Entertainment is more than just a disposable subsidiary. It's the best resource we have to finding new pieces of Eden.
It is a weak link that has been compromised by our enemies time and time again.
All the more reason to have DaCosta secure their access to the cloud servers. We're confident that Melanie LeMay won't fuck it up, like Olivier Garneau.
Bringing a civilian like that into our ranks is also unwise.
Time will tell with Miss LeMay, but she handled the John Standish situation with an even hand. She helped us discover the existence of sages, and in doing so, has done more for Phoenix than you have, Mr. Berg.
Shots
She
fired.
also continues to ignore the presence of the instruments of the First Will within her operation.
Those whack jobs are actually useful to us for now. They're a cheap source of relics we can exploit. If they become too much of a problem, we'll deal with them with the same efficiency we deal with the assassins.
Giving the assassins time to regroup is a tactical mistake. We should strike them now while they are at their most vulnerable.
We value your passion and expertise, Mr. Berg, and your concerns have been noted. Now pack your bags. You've got a busy year ahead of you.
Alright, that's interesting. I just thought that was funny. She's proven to be a more useful asset than you, Otto Berg. Oh, fuck you too. Thank God I'm not in charge of writing the dialogue. Okay, well, I can make some interesting dialogue for my story, but if I were just to go off my brain, things are first thing that comes to mind. Probably was just be divisive. Salvador document 16 to Philip Chartrand from Melanie LeMay, date 1st September 2014. Subject, Fiora Cavazza. Hey Philippe, you're getting great data from Fiora Cavazza, but I just wanted to chime in now and say that I don't want to focus too much on her early life as a courtesan in the Rose and Fiora. Rather, I want to focus on the intrigue and tension when she betrays her game. I cannot stress enough how much I do not want Fiora to be perceived as an over-sexualized object, but rather as a cunning spy who has to make difficult choices to overcome life-threatening obstacles. I'm going to be on your ass about this, so always err on the side of good taste. I believe in you, Melanie. I don't know who Fiora Cavazza is. First thing that comes to mind when she says Corazon is that lady that helped Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2. I'm not sure if she was the same person or not. I can't remember what her actual name was in Assassin's Creed 2. I'm also gonna go in here real quick. That is the server room, nothing in here. One more place we can go in the lobby, and that actually does it for everything we can do as of right now. I think we actually do have another chance to come back into the modern day. Nothing in here. Oh, I knew I saw something. This is tablet number 19 to Jennifer Tan from Melanie LeMay, date September 17, 2014, subject Animus Combat Sports. Hey you, remember when you said you want to see MMA events through an Animus? If I remember correctly, what you actually said was, I want a cage-side seat to bathe in their man sweat. Well, I took that idea to heart and we're working with our partners at Mysore Tech in India to remaster some traditional entertainment as virtual features. We're going to have concerts and historical tourism, but I made sure we got some combat sports just for you, my dear. We're going to have a series called The Best of Tornado de Combat, Brazil's biggest promotion. Their CEO is a bit of a dick, but the Abstergo name carries a lot of weight, so that definitely helped us out. Volume 1 is going to include fighters like Guilherme Bernancio and Aaron Shoot. Aaron Shoot is an assassin, huh? And Luis Octavio Doriz means nothing to me, but I hope you're excited about it. I wonder if they know if Aaron Shoot is an assassin at this point. At the point this tablet was written. Kind of interesting. Missing 3 tablets, and I suspect the ones that are missing are those security rings.
Details of Harlan T. Cunningham's life were difficult to acquire, as many traces of his identity before becoming an assassin were altered or erased by Gavin Banks. It is only thanks to Agent DaCosta's remarkable skills that we are able to piece together this profile. Cunningham was outed as homosexual in high school, which unfortunately ruined a promising wrestling career. He left Texas as quickly as he could.
Texas, wow.
Cunningham was recruited by the Brotherhood in Florence, Italy, under the leadership of assassin veteran Adriano Maestranzi. Sigma team attacked the Florence hideout in 2012, but Maestranzi detonated a bomb. 3 assassins were killed before the explosion, but Sigma team was annihilated in the process. Cunningham and I were the only survivors. Cunningham was last sighted in Rotterdam, alongside Aaron Shoot, a former mixed martial arts champion who also suffered a career backlash when he came out as homosexual. It is clear that Cunningham is mentoring Shut in the ways of the Brotherhood. Although physically gifted and extremely dangerous, Shut is a poor choice as an assassin. He is incapable of keeping a low profile and will compromise the Brotherhood despite himself. Recently, Cunningham stole a piece of Eden from an Abstergo facility in Rotterdam. During the operation, Shut was charged to attack Abstergo employees throughout the city to draw attention away from his mentor. Although Sigma Team managed to reclaim the item, both Cunningham and Shut escaped. I will not allow Cunningham to get away from me a third time.
Interesting. So it's honestly kind of sad and look. For those curious, there was a time in the past, and in fact, it kind of still is now, where Texas was really the worst place for a gay person to live because most of the people are so conservative. I believe now they're more accepting, but they're still a pretty conservative. So there's definitely like bad apples no matter where you live, but I do remember that there was a time like I have cousins I have a cousin that is a lesbian, I have a cousin that is gay. And I remember talking to them at Thanksgiving, and they said when they came out as lesbian and gay, like in high school, they were actually mocked because of that. And there's definitely people out there, especially in the past, where their homophobia was definitely like an issue. But I do kind of think it's gotten better today. At least in America, in some parts of America, there's definitely still some homophobia, but overall, I do kind of feel like that kind of notion is better conceived today than like 30 years ago, 50 years ago. If you came out as gay in the 1920s, then yeah, that would be a major problem, I guess, because there's definitely people out there that are extremely homophobic back then. So. There we go. That one kind of gave me a little bit of trouble.
Field Report, Phoenix Project, November 1st, 2013. Agent DaCosta alerted me to a possible lead on the Koh-i-Noor diamond. A replica can be found among the crown jewels of England. However, the true diamond is a powerful piece of Eden and has been lost for centuries. Jot Sura is a programmer at Mysore Tech, a company working with Abstergo Entertainment to release a variant of the Animus headset to Asia, called the Brahmin device. He's been associating with Siobhan Dami, the sister of Jadseep Dami, a known assassin. Could the Brotherhood be using the Brahmin device to locate the Koh-i-Noor? Until we have more evidence, I have decided to use a local Abstergo strike force rather than mobilize Sigma Team. Update, November 3rd, 2013. Jot Sura was abducted outside of Dreamland Studios in Mumbai. He was seen being forced into a van by Siobhan and Jadseep Dami. This confirms my suspicions. The assassins must be using Jot Sura's genetic memories to locate the Koh-i-Noor. I have authorized the local Abstergo soldiers to engage and eliminate the assassins, with instructions that the Brahmin device must be kept intact. I am en route to India. Update, November 4th, 2013. I arrived in India too late. Our strike team engaged the assassins in 2 separate conflicts. The body of Siobhan Dami was found at the first site, but her remains were too badly damaged in an explosion to collect any genetic information. I found the Brahmin device at the second site, but after reviewing the genetic memories recorded within, I am relieved to find that Jotsura's bloodline was a dead end. The real Koh-i-Noor diamond remains lost to both sides. Jatsibdami escaped, which means we must monitor this new assassin activity in India closely. I am closing this file and proceeding to my next mission.
So I will say that I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, but I never played it through to the end. I'm unsure if I will be covering that on this channel eventually. I may when I finish every Assassin's Creed game in the mainline series. But I do wonder if that was like a plot point for Assassin's Creed Chronicles India. It is set in the same location. I guess it could be possible that's a reference to that. In any case, that's the last location. We're just missing, I believe we're missing 3 tablets. We're missing number 2 and 3 tablets. Are you such only missing 2? Huh. I'll look into that when we get back to the modern day. We're gonna be going and progressing the story a little bit, then we'll be coming back. You do have all the computers done, which is great, but there's not much else we can do. Let's go ahead and go back to the Animus. And we'll wrap up to your story.
The Royal Palace at Versailles, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette in residence.
That's a wrong outfit.
Good luck, Numbskull.
That guard was not...
Ah, Shay. You certainly look prepared to meet royalty. Perhaps King Louis himself will grant you an audience.
I doubt even these breaches will get me into the king's chambers. Besides, I'm only here to see a business acquaintance.
Yes, I heard a group of merchants would be here today. They might come see my scientific demonstration later.
They really should. They might learn something, though I wouldn't count on their being present. I take my leave. Thank you again, Master Franklin. Now to find Charles and that damned box.
So what I was gonna say is, those guards are not wearing the typical, guard uniform from the city. I'm pretty sure they're wearing, the revolutionary
That's
thing.
him. Charles Dorian.
So it's just kind of interesting to me that they would use that, that guard literally from that's literally the revolutionary outfit. It's just so interesting to me that that's the outfit they choose to use. I would honestly, I think that this game and Unity were developed by different countries, so it shouldn't be too hard to share assets between companies owned by the same group.
N'a-t-on pas idée de sa blessure? Il faut croire juste par derrière. L'aliénation est incurable. Il faut croire. Nous sommes plus ou moins sous tutelle. Quoi donc? J'ai rêvé que je travaillais dans...
There is little Arno and
We stole those apples.
whatever her name is.
I'm Arno. Elise, I'm here with my father. So am I. He has important business with the king. What should we do now?
Little reference to Assassin's Creed Unity.
Gentlemen, I'll protect this artifact with my very life. Arno? Where have you gone? You're the traitor.
I'm just finishing old business.
Old Connor and his assassins. The American Revolution undid your Templar business.
Then perhaps we shall start a revolution of our own.
Presumably Jack Weeks is still alive, so there were some Templars that Connor didn't kill. Kid, like revolutionary armor, out of place.
And all that for which we stand. Never share our secrets, nor divulge the true nature of our work. Do so until death, whatever the cost. This is my new creed. I am Shay Patrick Cormac, Templar of the Colonial, of the American right. I am an older man now, and perhaps wiser. A war and a revolution have ended, and another is about to begin.
And we never
understand and guide us all.
There's another revolution is coming, but this is kind of like a plot point that is never brought up again. So maybe in some future Assassin's Creed game we'll see Shay's revolution. But personally, I was actually thinking as I was playing through the story, specifically when I was doing the assassination mission for Liam, I was thinking how cool it would be for like a sequel of Connor's story where Connor eventually goes after Shay Cormac. I thought that'd be kind of cool. But anyway, we reached our credits. We are now going to go over my usual closing thoughts for this game. We still have a lot of work to do in this game. We still have 4 legendary ships, and we still have a handful of achievements to get before we have 100% completion. But my biggest criticism for this game
it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you up here today.
Gotta hand it to you, numbskull. You proved yourself to be more than a simple research monkey.
The data you extracted from Shay Cormac's memories has served us well. Shay's story is a message. One that says that when threatened, what an assassin truly wants isn't freedom, but order.
And we represent the highest order there is.
Whatever you learn from your Animus experience only scratches the surface. We have existed since before recorded human history, and have recently been reborn, disguised as Abstergo Industries.
And entertainment.
You have crossed the threshold, and your eyes have been opened. You have seen the world for what it truly is.
There's no turning back now. We got big plans for you.
The Father of Understanding guided you to us, and for that we are grateful. The test of your true worth begins now. And it begins with a choice.
Join us, and a bright future will be all yours.
refuse.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I got 2 achievements. One of them is for viewing the corrupted memory for Shay Cormac. The other one was likely for viewing that in for the final present day mission. I'll just go ahead and finish up what I was gonna say because I don't know if there's gonna be any more cutscenes. I feel like this game's biggest problem is that the world is too big for a story that's so short, and I feel like that it would have definitely been better if they cut out River Valley and instead focused more on the North Atlantic and New York. I feel like it would have been much better off if they did that way, and I would want to kind of make it feel less bloated. If you are just focusing on the main story, if you do not care about exploration, if you do not care about upgrading your gear, doing all this kind of stuff, if you're only interested in the story, then I do feel like this game actually does kind of have some interesting moments. It is literally the only game in this series where you can play as a Templar and where you can go after and target the assassins. But as I said at the beginning of this game does not handle this that well. They literally just flipped the sides where they made assassins essentially the Templars and the character as the Templars as the assassins. They literally flipped roles. And honestly, there are some problems with the story that I do have. It was quite clear that the assassins were the one that pushed Shay away. But the whole thing could have been avoided if Achilles were more open-minded and trusting of Shay instead of doing things that would making decisions that would kind of push Shay towards the thing. Like the entire scene with Shay confronting Achilles. If Achilles approached Shay with a level head instead of resorting to violence and kicking him out. If Achilles had listened to Shay instead of just saying that he is wrong and then relying and Achilles is right, then Shay would have probably not have been felt betrayed by the assassins and would not have found refuge at Templar Order. And honestly, if you just come off from playing Assassin's Creed 3, this version of Achilles may be kind of jarring from the version of Achilles you would see in Assassin's Creed 3. And I do kind of feel like this game just kind of stretches basic logic for sake of plot. And I do kind of feel like that's a story's weak point. Where the assassins consistently make decisions that kind of go against the basic logic, I guess I'll say. And one criticism I see with the main story is Achilles' Brotherhood, his right, or I think it's just a Brotherhood. They kind of break the core tenets of the assassins. One of the main ones that they broke was hide in plain sight. They literally had a gang holding different areas in New York and holding different towns in River Valley and North Atlantic, where they fly a flag hoisting their symbol. They quite clearly one of the tenets is protect the innocent. The assassins kind of produce poison to use against the people that we actually kind of made a point to actually destroy in a couple of the missions. You will see the other one was hide in plain sight. Don't compromise the Brotherhood. I feel like they also did that to an extent with how they kind of handle like some of the things. Like an example that I can think of is they arguably they could have arguably I do kind of consider them pursuing the first civilization thing to get one up on the Templars, I guess, just by Shay's warning. Does kind of compromise a brother because they kind of put the people or the populace in jeopardy. and they also kind of threaten like they're standing as the Brotherhood, and it's kind of like a problem with the. There's probably like other examples I can think of. Like, I guess another thing I can think of is what's his name? Kasegawase. Him his actions going after George Monroe, just kind of exposing his order blatantly to soldiers, and I do kind of feel like that could have been like an example of like exposing a compromise with the Brotherhood, but because really that whole compromising the Brotherhood is really just protecting their secrecy. So that was secrecy is already out the window when they fly their flag to control towns and districts in New York, posing as a gang, and I do kind of feel like that is problematic. But yeah, it's just there's problems with the story that if you look really hard, if you're just analyzing the different things, that it doesn't kind of make sense when you're just looking at things analytically. But if you don't really care too much for the story, there are some gameplay elements that this game actually does do well. Like I do kind of, I really enjoy like the grenades it can use. I really enjoy like as always. Like I do enjoy the naval combat in Assassin's Creed Rogue. I actually like it a little bit more than Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because it's a little bit more in depth. With the purple gun and Black Flag, you can't really change shots. You can only shoot one at a time, and it's nice how you can have like an automatic firing thing with Rogue, where you can just like spam shots, and that's something I do appreciate. But there are some things that I also do really like, which is like probably one of my favorite game modes in this game is the assassin interception. But that being said, there really isn't that much we can. I have to go over this, and I'm actually gonna wait until the credits for me to actually. Wait for the credits for me to actually go over this on this. Yeah, I can't skip this. I don't think I can. They're pressing A and pressing B. So again, I should let this run. Yeah, I can't skip these credits. At least I don't think I can. But hopefully this won't go too long. I do notice that Ubisoft does kind of like all their companies and these credits, but it could be they just so the credits of those that actually worked on this game, the companies that actually worked on this game. But I guess I was wrong to worry, because my stream has not had an issue of it dropping since I started, which is great. And I do kind of feel like that the reason why that is I actually rebooted my router before I started live streaming. So I think because of that, I did not have an issue of my internet dropping, which may actually be something I should do more often. I guess while we're waiting for this to go over, we still have we can go over like what we have left to do. So there's only one thing that we have to do that's related to the 100% completion, at least in terms of DNA sequencing, and that is to go after the 4 legendary ships. We will be doing that at the start of the next live stream, but we will not be. We will likely not. I don't know if we'll be able to finish Assassin's Creed Rogue in the next live stream. I guess what I'm trying to say. But we will. I'm also unsure how much we can really get done, because one, I don't have a problem with any legendary ship in this game except the Soaring Fortress, which is considered to be the hardest one. But I do kind of have somewhat of a strategy that actually worked well for me when I did this Assassin's Creed Rogue remastered playthrough. Beyond that, we just have a couple of gear items to get. We'll actually be able to get a couple of them just by playing this game. We have the we have the rest of the naval campaign to do. We have a bunch of challenges to take care of, and we have a handful of achievements. Beyond that, for the modern day, we have 2 tablets to go over before we have that done. In fact, I'm actually going to pull that up real quick. Assassin's Creed, Rogue, Abstergo, tablets. I know we're missing 2 and 3, so let's go ahead and look into that. Really? Oh, wait. That's out of order. Why is it out of order? Oh, there's one that we missed in Berg's office, so we'll go ahead and go for that. That's actually tablet document number 3. Tablet document number 2 is actually in the CCO thing, so there's actually 2 things we could have gone that we never actually gone. So we know what ones are missing. We still can't skip this. I don't think there's like a post-credit scene. Yeah, I literally pressed every single button on my controller. I had to let this play out. I guess if there's anything that I will say, is there maybe... There is possibly 1 or 2 live streams left before we are finished with this game. And the next game I'm going to be covering on my channel is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If there's anything that I will discuss about that game, it's that it will be the first Star Wars game I will play. I have played, not counting the Lego games. It'll be the first Star Wars game that I have played since Star Wars Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2. The gameplay of those games is very different. It's very easy for you to just like mash X and just barrel through enemies in Force Unleashed 1 and 2. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is parry based and relies on evasion to evade attacks and parries to counter attacks. And yeah, it's definitely gonna take some getting used to for me. I cannot like button master victory that I like to do. It's definitely gonna have to take some time, but I am looking forward to playing that game. This will be the first Star Wars game, like again, like not counting the Lego games. This will be the first Star Wars game I played since Star Force Unleashed 2, and I'm really looking forward to playing. I will be doing everything in the game. I will be gathering every single collectible, getting every single chest, using every single outfit at least. I'll be getting every single achievement, and if I can, I may also be going over the arena mode that they added alongside New Game Plus. I believe. Actually, was it alongside New Game Plus? It may have been DLC, but that I can't remember. I think that was added alongside the. I think it was added alongside the Inquisitor Cow outfit they released. But the one problem that I have with the arena is there are 3 challenges of it. One of them is for not getting hit. I can't remember what the other challenges were. But the challenges are actually incredibly difficult, especially for the later years. And it's definitely going to take some practice, but I'm going to try and cover that, because if we complete all of them, then you will actually be getting a unique skin for BD1. There is one problem with that, and that is I will be playing this on normal. I will not be playing this on Jedi Master or Jedi Knight, whatever it is. I'm going to be playing this on the normal difficulty, so I may have an easy time. If you are playing this on hard, then on the hardest difficulty, then my tactics for beating those things may not be applicable to you. But if you're actually struggling with that on the hardest difficulty, then I will actually recommend a video when I get to that point from a YouTuber I follow, because his video on that is actually pretty impressive. I just don't like to advertise like other streamers' playthroughs of, or other YouTubers or streamers of this game, because it's generally one thing that one common taboo that exists on Twitch is people coming into streamers and trying to advertise their own content. Like if I were to go into like looking at my follower list, Seagull and Overwatch streamers currently playing BattleBit. I don't know what that is. If I were to go into a stream and say, "Hey, watch Z-Boy896 on Sunday," whatever, then that is actually very bad form, and streamers typically get very upset about it. This is my channel, however, so I have no problem with advertising other content creators' content if they do something that is better than what I currently do. So if the point comes where I cover the content and I'm actually able to 100% it, like get all 3 stars for each challenge, then I may actually advertise like this guy's content, because his thing is actually incredible. But I think we're actually at the tail end of this. But finally, yeah, you can see the Adobe. The credits are now over. This should be any minute. Let's see if we can go back. Okay, so the first thing that we're missing, first tablet we're missing, this is actually gonna be the last thing that we do. First tablet we're missing is actually right here. Tablet number 3 to M.O. Baudreau from Melanie LeMay, date 9 July 2014. Subject, History's Hitman Altair. IMO, I understand your concerns, given that we already passed on several of these historical figures in previous market analyses. Having said that, I think we can, yeah, it's definitely a typo. I think we can use a lot of this data to present these people not as fictional action heroes, but as a focus of historical documentaries. After a few iterations, we come up with this as our best angle. Amid the chaos of the Crusades, one man's moral transgressions tower above all others. And experience firsthand what it means to be a remorseless killing machine in an age of philosophical turmoil. This could be in a series, something like History's Hitman. That's a turbo lame, but you get the idea. Or they could be standalone. Maybe this one can be Murder in the Levant or something like that. We're going to commission a few features using these controversial figures for Helix's launch. Let's see how they do, and then we'll discuss continuing the series or trying something else. Thanks for your honest feedback, is always appreciated, Melanie LeMay. The other thing that we're missing is actually an area that we went to. We're missing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 16, 17. Huh.
I'm just saying that Violet didn't have to yell at us for not fixing the elevator before she did.
I can't believe she made you cry like that.
She said some very hurtful.
We're gonna go to the CCO. We should only be missing one. But it's acting like we're missing 2. One we're missing should be in this room over here.
I'm hungry.
To Jean-Francois Brunet from Melanie LeMay, date 7 July 2014, subject the tragedy of Jacques de Molay. Hey, just read the final text for the first episode. Last of the heroic knights Templar, Jacques de Molay was a man of principle, a towering intellect, betrayed by the man he entrusted most, a corrupt king of France. I love it, and I think our users are going to love it too. This is going to be the crown jewel of our Helix launch in the fall. It's a great job, everyone. ML. What are we missing? Am I dumb? Did I seriously miscount her twice? We're missing tablet 15. I missed it twice. Let's see where it is. Tablet 15. As you go to the 15th floor. Really? Is there? I've been in that area like at least 4 or 5 times. How did I miss this? Apparently I did. I can see it right now. That looks like it's in Sleepy Hollow, so we'll be sure to get that. Tablet number 15. To Kama Niran from Mountain LeMay, day 25, August 2014, subject Xiao Jun. We first got a glimpse of Xiao Jun while in the Yetio auditory section of Sample 17. With so much demand for strong female characters right now, do you think we can focus some R&D into finding her genetic material? There's some evidence connecting her to the Jing Emperor, who by all historical accounts was a cruel jackass. Great villain potential if memory serves. I think there was also a Mongol invasion around that time. There's a lot of great potential for a great new action franchise ML. Okay, so let's go to Sleepy Hollow. We'll take care of that, and then we'll actually wrap up the live stream. We got a lot done. In fact, before we wrap things up, we are gonna check out the achievement list. Oh, I think my thing was over here. go to Sleepy Hollow, we'll grab that Animus fragment, that treasure in Sleepy Hollow, and then we'll wrap things up. But again, before we do, we're gonna check out the achievements.
Ladies are requested to keep modesty and practicality in mind in their dress. Silks and velvets are unneeded, expensive to maintain, and contribute to the economies of hostile foreign nations. This message is sponsored by the East India Company.
Great camera angle.
Has imposed taxes upon us.
Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll pause the game and we'll check out the achievements. We actually got a lot done. Did not get everything that I wanted to do.
Dress in the height of fashion.
The what? Is there no achievement for getting all the I guess not. I guess there's no achievement for getting all the tablets. I thought there was. Anyway, the achievements that we got was Templar then, Templar now for completing the game. Keep full synchronization. We got 100% synchronization in all main missions. No page unturned. Complete the final glitch memory. Complete present 4. Repair all of computers and Abstergo Entertainment. Visit every location in the game. Complete sequence 6. And that's it. We got a lot of progress. I would honestly, I think that we're actually at 80%, but I can't actually show that off until actually on my Xbox One because this game doesn't have percentages. That's gonna do it for today. If you are remotely interested in what you see today, all the games I cover on my channel will be for 100% completion. I will be streaming Assassin's Creed Rogue yet again next Saturday, 1 p.m. to 4 Pacific Standard Time. I will be streaming Stardew Valley for 100% completion on Sundays, 1 p.m. to 4 Pacific Standard Time. And I will be streaming Sims 3 Pets for 100% completion on Fridays, 1 p.m. to 4 Pacific Standard Time. If you are interested in games being played for 100% completion, know that not only play for 100% in-game statistics, but 100% in achievements as well. So there are some games where 100% achievements is not possible. So that being said, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, see you next time. Hello everyone, and welcome to another post-stream session where I go over all the entries for the database. You actually should have a decent amount of stuff. And we, some of the only things that we're missing for total synchronization is actually for, the Storm Fortress and the other legendary ships, so we'll cover that later. But let's go into the Animus database. We're going to go into documents. Nothing new here. Shanties. Actually, there's nothing new there. People. We have... Something new for Achilles, that's a surprise. Hope Jensen. And for 1746, Hope met Achilles, who was impressed by her survival skills, pickpocketing skills, and strength of will. She was inducted into the Brotherhood a year later. Achilles ordered her to set up a network in New York City, and before long, Hope controlled most of New York's organized crime. Hope was one of Shay's instructors, though she often found him to be a hopeless student. The pair worked with Benjamin Franklin in an attempt to unravel the mystery surrounding the precursor artifacts. After Shay's affections, she continued to work with Franklin alone. Hope was killed when Shay attacked her in her mansion. No new entry for... Okay, well, it shouldn't be unknown. We know when he died, we killed him. Louis-Joseph Gauthier, Chevalier de la Vendrée. Oh, I see. I think this is new. De la Vendrée lost his father in 1749, and further explorations westward were disrupted by politics. During that same year, he met Shay Cormac for the first time and took an instant dislike for him. In 1752, de la Vendrée returned to fur trading, but business did not go well for him. In 1761, he planned a trip to France, but his ship was lost on the coast of Cape Breton. That's how history remembers it going down, but we know the truth, don't we, numbskull? Let's go into locations. North Atlantic? Oh, is it landmarks? Hope's Mansion. As an assassin leader of New York's underworld, Hope Jensen used a mansion that was deadly and extravagant. Knowing it was a matter of when and not if she would be attacked, she had several traps built into the mansion to deal with intruders. Booby-trapped crime mansions are the new fairy princess castles, V. Huh. That actually surprised me. There's actually no location for the precursor. That's interesting. No actual location for the precursor temple. I think that actually does it for all the new locations in the database, new entries in the database. Let's go ahead and we will exit the Animus and go over the new entries for that. We shouldn't have anything new to read in the files page, but we do have some new. Let's go ahead and pause. Go into the messages. Hackers. Abstergo's revolutionary Helix servers are an attractive target to many types of criminals and malcontents. It is important that you do your part to keep our cloud secure and report any anomalous behavior with your Animus workstation or any other Abstergo equipment in the building. Psychiatric care. At times, the deadlines of virtual feature developments can feel overwhelming. Abstergo Entertainment has a variety of resources for you. Refresh yourself with complimentary Herné Plus energy. Vitalize your body with personalized routines programmed into a body band exercise bracelet. Our in-house psychiatrist can prescribe you midazolam, a stunning array of Abstergo pharmaceuticals, ease your mental anguish, and delay the onset of the bleeding effect. Danger is over. Your own diagnosis, read all systems normal. We have registered that you have performed your above and beyond your mandates to facilitate the repairs. This has been noted in your permanent file. Work life should resume within a few business days, and you will regain access to your messages. Thank you for your hard work and cooperation. Diary. Now look at that. I rounded up all the stray tablets littered about the place. They should really pass or protect their email. And is it just me, or does it look like a map? And if it's a map, who put it there? More questions than answers. I managed to repair computers for my friends and colleagues and remove any files that might expose them to dangerous secrets. They'll never know to thank me, but I'm sure I can guilt them into buying me a few drinks. Really? Okay, so understanding. Day 4 repairs found restored basement servers. It all makes sense now. Mr. Berg protects us from the assassins. I'm glad to have helped. Who knew that they were hiding under the skin of the world like parasites? The last couple of years working here makes more sense now. Time to choose. Day 5 repairs. What a crazy week. My eyes have been open. I've been offered a place among the Templar order to continue to fight against the assassins. I feel an obligation to accept, or am I just afraid to refuse? It gave me time to think it over. I thought it was implied that he joined, but apparently it's open-ended whether or not he will join. Okay, so that actually does all the new entries. As per usual, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for next week when we may actually be finishing off this game and actually just go over what we have left for achievements list. You know that we have the a couple things to take care of. We have the last same bridge on percent, which is the legendary ship out. We have the Animus challenges complete, and beyond that, we just have achievements. Just quickly go over the achievements that we have left. I'm not gonna go over this, but there is like an easy way to farm this. There's really only one enemy that drops smoke bombs, so we'll see if we can find one and trigger it. All legendary battles complete. We'll begin at the start of the next stream. Destroy one of our icebergs. This is probably gonna take a while for us to do. I'm just gonna circle around the area and destroy all the icebergs we encounter as we're like the final area of North Atlantic, and destroy one of the areas, destroy all the icebergs, and reset one. We destroy them all. 300 British POWs. That's probably gonna take some time. We may actually form for that for legendary ships. 115 air surprise tags. This one I'm actually really close to getting. Hit 5 enemies with a berserk grenade. Pretty easy to do. Put 5 enemies to sleep with a sleep grenade. Pretty easy to do. And these are the cheat related stuff, which is actually pretty easy stuff. It just takes a lot of work. Sing 10 chips with a hunted cheat. North Atlantic. Sing 10 chips with the endurance cheat in North Atlantic. Take over 10 large supply camps while only the veteran cheat is active, and kill 30 guards without dying while only the endurance cheat is active. That actually does it for all that we that actually does it for all the achievements we have left. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.